Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus inaugurates month-long program commemorating the July mass uprising, calls for turning July into a month of awakening and unity. Every year, the month of July to be observed so that autocracy cannot rise again, says Chief Advisor. July 24 gets its place in history as a chapter written in blood. On this day in 2024, quota reform movement turned into anti-discrimination movement, and with this fall of Awami League government began. July mass uprising, first anniversary being observed across the country, including the capital, through various programs. Consensus among all political parties essential for national interest, says BNP's acting chairman Tariq Rahman. NCP begins the month-long July walkathon through visiting the grave of Shohid Abu Said in Rangpur. Tribunal sets Monday for hearing on church framing against Sheikh Hasina in a case of crimes against humanity committed during July mass uprising. Election Commission taking preparation to hold free, fair and neutral national election, says Chief Election Commissioner. "116 more Palestinians killed in a day in Israeli attacks in Gaza. 39 people killed in a seaside cafe." And Bangladesh to face Sri Lanka in first one day of 3-match series in Colombo tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum viewers, this is Upoma Shaha with you, welcoming you to the news at 10. You have just heard the headlines, now moving on to the details. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus today urged the country's people to the July uprising every year to resist re-emergence of autocracy. He made the call while inaugurating a month-long program at his office commemorating the July uprising. On the occasion, Chief Advisor Professor Yunus unveiled the QR code of the program. Mentioning that today is a glorious moment in the history, the Chief Advisor said, a year ago in this July, the movement that the students started gave the people a taste of freedom by creating an unprecedented mass uprising. Professor Yunus said the immediate target of the mass uprising was fulfilled by there, but was a great dream behind it, to reconstruct a new state system and build a new Bangladesh.
জুলাই ছিল দেশের গণতন্ত্র পুনরুদ্ধারের লড়াই, এক অমোঘ ডাক, এক জনতার জাগরণ। সেই আন্দোলনের মর্মবাণী ছিল ফ্যাসিবাদের বিলোপ করে নতুন বাংলাদেশ বিনির্মাণ। গত বছরের জুলাইয়ে দেশের সকল শ্রেণীর, পেশা ও বয়সের মানুষের মধ্যে যে ঐক্য তৈরি হয়েছিল, আমরা চাই এই জুলাইয়ে সেই ঐক্য আবার সুসংহত হোক। আমাদের এই কর্মসূচির মূল লক্ষ্য জনগণকে গণতান্ত্রিক অধিকার সম্পর্কে সচেতন করা, রাজনৈতিক দায়বদ্ধতার দাবি জানানো এবং রক্তের বিনিময়ে পাওয়া সংস্কারের এই সুযোগকে হারিয়ে না ফেলা। আমরা প্রতি বছর এই সময়কালটা উদযাপন করব, যাতে পরবর্তীতে 16 বছর আমাদের অপেক্ষা করতে না হয় আবার এই অভ্যুত্থান করার জন্য। আমরা প্রতি বছর এটা করব, যাতে কোনো স্বৈরাচারের কোনো চিহ্ন দেখা গেলে সেটা তাৎক্ষণিকভাবে আমরা বিনাশ করতে পারি। সেটার জন্য এটা অত্যন্ত গুরুত্বপূর্ণ। স্বৈরাচারের প্রথম পাতা মেলার আগেই যেন আমরা তাকে ধরে ফেলতে পারি, 16 বছর যেন আমাদের অপেক্ষা করতে না হয়।
The Chief Advisor said the main goal of the program is to make the people aware of their democratic rights, demand political accountability, and not to miss this opportunity for reforms obtained at the cost of blood. He called upon all to make this July the month of mass awakening and unity.
সে বিশ্বাস নিয়ে আমি আজ আপনাদের আহ্বান জানাই, আসুন এই জুলাই মাসকে পরিণত করি গণজাগরণের মাসে, ঐক্যের মাসে। এই অনুষ্ঠানমালার মাধ্যমে জুলাই আগস্ট মাস জুড়ে আমরা গত বছরের প্রতিটি দিনকে আবার পুনর্জীবিত করব, যে লক্ষ্যে আমাদের তরুণ ছাত্ররা, জনতা, রিক্সা চালক, শ্রমিক, কিশোররা শহীদ হয়েছিল, আহত হয়েছিল। সেই লক্ষ্য বাস্তবায়নে আমরা আবার নতুন করে শপথ নেব। জুলাই আগস্টের পুনরুত্থান কর্মসূচি সফল হোক, এর মাধ্যমে আমাদের স্বপ্ন আবার নতুন করে জেগে উঠুক, আমাদের ঐক্য আবারও সর্বমুখী হোক, অটুট হোক, এই হোক আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠানমালার লক্ষ্য। এই লক্ষ্য সামনে রেখেই আমি জাতির পক্ষ থেকে জুলাই গণ অভ্যুত্থান পুনরুত্থান কর্মসূচির উদ্বোধন ঘোষণা করছি।
Cultural Affairs Advisor Mustafa Sarwar Faruqi conducted the function, while Education Advisor C.R. Abrar also spoke. On the occasion, the Chief Advisor also handed over scholarship check to 3 national university students. The foundational period of New Bangladesh is the days of June, July and August of the last year. This defining moment, which changed the course of Bangladesh's political landscape, has made a place in people's heart as 36th of July. These glorious days, marked by immense sacrifice and unparalleled courage, hold immense significance for the people of this land. As the deadline passed without resolving the demand to reinstate the circular cancelling quotas, students of Dhaka University held a rally on the first day of July. A large number of students gathered in front of Dhaka University's Central Library under the banner of the Anti-Discrimination Student Movement. From there, they marched to the Raju sculpture at TSC, where they held a rally. From the rally, students announced a boycott of all classes and exams at universities and colleges until the 4th of July. The quota reform activists urged the government to meet their demands by 4th of July. The Anti-Discrimination Student Movement also announced a 3-day program. Among the scheduled programs were a mass march from the Central Library on the following day and gatherings at the Raju sculpture on Wednesday and Thursday. Students from Jagannath University, the 7 government colleges affiliated with Dhaka University and other institutions under the National University in Dhaka were called to participate in that rally. A notable feature of the protest rally was revolutionary protest songs sung by the students, which became a powerful force in the movement. Outraged students launched an online campaign around the issue. Coordinator Sarjis Alam called on the public via Facebook to stand in support of the demands. He wrote, "No compromise with injustice." On 1st of July, students of Jagannath University also began their protests. At Jahangirnagar University, students gathered at the Shohid Minar and later blocked the Dhaka-Aricha highway for 10 minutes. At Rajshahi University, students organized their programs on Paris Road. Students of Bangladesh Agricultural University held human chains and protest rallies with the same demands. On that day, vernacular daily Kalbela published a report with a bold headline titled, "The Movement is Growing." BNP has arranged discussion meeting today, marking the first anniversary of historic July-August mass uprising. Martyred family members were also honored on the occasion. BNP Acting Chairman Tariq Rahman virtually inaugurated the 36 days program titled First Anniversary of Mourning and Victory at China-Bangladesh Friendship Conference Center in the capital. Joining virtually, BNP Chairperson Begum Khaleda Zia spoke at the program as chief guest. In his address, Tariq Rahman noted that consensus of all the parties is important in national interest. Time to pay the Inauguration Committee. It was also addressed by BNP Secretary Fakhrul Islam Alamgir. Speakers at the program has vowed to bring back national unity and democracy and ensure rehabilitation of the injured. On the first anniversary of the July uprising, various political parties and cultural organizations across the country observed the day with different programs. To mark the anniversary, the National Citizens Party (NCP) launched the July March to Build the Nation. The program began at around 10:30 a.m. this morning with a visit to the grave of Shohid Abu Said in Zafarpara village of Pirganj, Rangpur, who was martyred during the anti-discrimination student movement. Party leaders including convener Nahid Islam, Member Secretary Akhtar Hussain, Chief Coordinator Nasiruddin Patwari, Chief Organizer Hasnat Abdullah and Sarjis Alam were present. They later met with the family of Shohid Abu Said. Meanwhile, a special religious ceremony and discussion were held today at Dharmarajika Buddhist Monastery in the capital in remembrance of the martyrs of the historic July uprising. The event was organized by the Ministry of Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs. Advisor Shupradip Chakma was present as the chief guest. He stated that the July uprising was a milestone in Bangladesh's struggle for self-identity, justice and democracy. The sacrifice of the martyrs will forever inspire the nation. On the anniversary of the people's victory in the July-August historic uprising, the BNP student wing Jatiyotawadi Chhatro Dal organized a national anthem performance and candlelight vigil titled Shining in Light, Glorious in Memory. The program was held at the Central Shohid Minar in Dhaka in the early hours of July. BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi, Chhatro Dal President Rakibul Islam, General Secretary Nasiruddin Nasir and other central leaders were present. Meanwhile, Bangladesh Jamaat Islami held a prayer session for those killed and injured during the July uprising. At the event, Jamaat's Naibi Amir Soyed Abdullah Muhammad Tahir stated that the greatest achievement of July was the fall of an autocratic regime and the liberation of the people. Elsewhere, AB Party organized the opening ceremony of a 36-day program commemorating the July uprising at the National Press Club. Dr. Mahmudur Rahman, editor of the daily Amar Desh, said, "In a country where young people can sacrifice their lives, fascism can never rise again." Additionally, the Vice-Chancellor of Bangladesh Medical University, Professor Dr. Shahinul Alam, inaugurated this 36th July program this morning with a rally and tree planting. In a brief discussion, he urged all concerned to take effective measures to rebuild the country with the spirit of 24. International Crimes Tribunal 1 has set next Monday as the date for the hearing on the formation of charges against former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and two others for crimes against humanity during the July-August mass uprising. A three-member tribunal headed by the tribunal's chairman, Justice Muhammad Ghulam Murtuza Majumdar, passed the order today. The other two members of the tribunal are Justice Muhammad Shafiul Alam Mahmood and Justice Mohitul Haq Inam Chowdhury. Chief Prosecutor Muhammad Tajul Islam participated in the hearing on behalf of the prosecution against the accused, including Sheikh Hasina. The two accused in this case are fugitive former Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal and former Inspector General of Police Chaudhry Abdullah Al Mamun. Abdullah Al Mamun has already been arrested. During the hearing, the chief prosecutor presented detailed evidence of 5 specific crimes committed by the fascist government in suppressing the logical and peaceful movement of students and the public during July-August, mentioning that deadly weapons and helicopters were used to suppress the movement. The chief prosecutor said that law enforcement agencies used drones to locate the protesters and then carried out brutal assaults in a planned manner. Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam also informed the tribunal that a total of 3,05,311 rounds of bullets were used in suppressing the student-led mass uprising. There will be no shortage of budget allocated for the upcoming national elections. Finance advisor Dr. Saleuddin Ahmed said this while briefing newsmen after the advisory committee meeting on purchase at the Secretariat this afternoon. As there is a possibility of holding elections in the current fiscal year, the government has already fixed the election budget and will not compromise in the allocation of the budget, he added. Besides, the finance advisor has also informed about the approval of the Chattogram port container handling and purchase of urea fertilizer at the advisory committee meeting on purchase. Chief Election Commissioner CEC AMM Nasiruddin said the Election Commission EC would be capable of conducting a free and fair election with the support of the people. He said this while talking to journalists at the election building in the capital's Agargaon today. CEC said Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus sincerely wants to present a free, fair, acceptable, credible and neutral election to the nation. Referring to his meeting with Chief Advisor, the CEC said, during the meeting, Chief Advisor simply wanted to know if Election Commission is prepared to conduct a free, fair and credible election. In reply, CEC assured Chief Advisor that Election Commission's preparations are going on in full swing. Now, international news.